Super Duke Productions presents 5-Minute Training with Duke Reinmar.
The topic today is Florentine, fighting with two weapons.
The key to fighting well with two swords is to cross block. Use the opposite side sword to block which loads your shoulders so that you can attack. Starting position is critical. You have to have your weapons near your shoulders. I like to have them equally spread, and when I go to attack, either weapon can attack depending on which way I turn my shoulders. I can also block that way. When fighting without a shield, movement's critical. Movement side to side, in or back. Against larger opponents, you've got to cross that line. Just know you have to block when you do. A quick movement in will give you the range and the angle you need to hit the shot. When you leg a Super Duke, you should probably continue the flurry and try to finish. If you focus on your opponent's weapon, it's fairly easy to block one shot. It's when they come two or three at a time that makes it more difficult. Track the weapon, try to get something in the way. It's important to be active, moving in and out, throwing blows, and follow that weapon, track it and block it. Open up targets by moving inside and out. A combination of range and movement will make you harder to hit at the same time open up targets on your opponent. When fighting from your knees, you have a lot of firepower. So throw some shots, get them on the defensive, and then when they do close in, block all those lanes and track the weapon. If you can see the weapon, it's fairly easy to block. Look for those targets that open up and keep blocking. Follow that weapon, throw some shots of your own. Hey, dude, filming here. The best time to find targets is after your opponent has thrown a few blows. The nice thing about using a sword for defense is it's so mobile. You can move it forward away from you, or you can just put it in a place where your opponent can't throw shots through it. You need to know when you're in range and when your opponent's waiting for something to happen. The only thing that saves me here on my crazy attack is a reaction block. Reaction blocks are the best. They come out of nowhere. It comes from training, doing slow work, and you just start blocking without really trying. It's all just reaction. Watch for your moment to go back on the offensive and don't miss it. Cross blocks allow you to keep your balance and your weight centered while blocking shots. A combination of static blocks and cross blocks will help to keep you centered, and then sometimes a cross block's the only way to get to it. The nice thing about a cross block is that the natural shoulder movement of the block sets your other weapon up in position to attack, so you can block and attack simultaneously. A huge advantage. Why are these guys always bigger than me? I look like a midget. Even if you attack first, that cross block can be there to save the day. Remember, block and move, don't just stand there. Trapping your opponent's weapon can also be a good tactic. I think Skeggy's seen that before. Right when I'm trying to trap his weapon, he traps actually both of my weapons. Pretty slick, Skeggy. A combination of range and movement makes you more difficult to hit and opens up targets on your opponent. After a flurry, it's sometimes a good idea to get out of the way. The hardest part about fighting someone that's Florentine is, number one, everything looks open, and number two, you have two weapons to keep track of. So with a combination of static and cross blocks, you can keep your opponent unsure and they forget and lose track of one of your weapons. Now it's time for the tip of the day. Movement can not only be side to side or front to back, but also up and down. From a standard fighting position, an average sized fighter can raise his hips 4 to 5 inches just by straightening up at impact, which changes a rib shot into a hip shot. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the body for the win. Better get some ice for that hip. That's all for this session. We'll see you next time on 5 Minute Training with Duke Reinmar.